Hello students, today let us continue our CET coaching session. So in this session I have taken 2018 DCT question paper and I am going to explain the questions belong to programming with C and data structures using C courses. Okay, so the first question is any C program. Four options are: A must contain at least one function, B needs input data, C need not contain any function, D must contain two functions only. So we know that every C program should consist of at least one function, that is main function. With that main function only the program can be executed. If you want, you can add a few more functions, but at minimum level C program should consist of at least main function. So according to this concept, first option, that is option A, must contain at least one function, is correct answer to this question. Next, second question, if two strings are identical, then string compare function returns option A -1, option B 1, option C 0, option D null. Right answer for this question is option C 0. So according to the working of string compare library function, string compare function will return 0 when two arguments, that is two strings, are identical. So option C is correct answer to this question. Next question, the format identifier %i is also used for next test data type. Options are char, int, float, double. So according to the latest development in C programming language, instead of %d as a format identifier for integer data type, we can also use one more format identifier, that is %i. So %i for integer data type. So option B is correct answer to this question. Next, fourth question, what is the size of float data type? Option A 4 bytes, option B 8 bytes, option C depends on system, option D cannot be determined. So as per the memory requirement for all basic data types of C language, float data type needs 4 bytes of memory. So option A is correct answer to this question, that is 4 bytes. Next, fifth question, which of the following is ternary operator? Four options are given to this question. Option A and, option C less than symbols, option B greater than, option D question mark and colon. So according to syntax of ternary operator, option D is correct answer, that is question mark and colon. Next, sixth question, do while loop terminates conditional expression returns. See, when conditional expression which is put at the end of loop returns false, which is equal to 0 value, then only the loop terminates. So option A is correct answer for this question, that is 0. Next, question number 7, if a variable is a pointer to a structure, then which of the following operator is used to access data members of the structure through the pointer variable? See, according to pointer to structure, now we are using arrow mark in order to point to the data members of that structure. So option D is correct answer for this question. Next, question number 8, address stored in a pointer variable is of dash dash type. So usually address is measured in terms of full values. So integer is corresponding to full number or full value. So right answer to this question is integer. Next, ninth question, which of the following function is more appropriate for reading in multi-word string? So options for this question are A scanf, B getS, C printf, D as many as elements in the structure. Okay, so scanf function can read only one word string. GetS function is more appropriate to read multi-word strings, that we know it. So right answer to this question is option B, GetS. Next, 10th question. Which of the following is the correct way to declaring a float pointer? So pointer data type can be derived from basic data type and star symbol. Okay. So option B out of 4 options, A float PTR, B float star PTR, C star float PTR, D none of the above. So B is the correct answer. So derived data type pointer consists of basic data type and star symbol, then followed by pointer variable. So according to this, option B is correct answer. Next, L1 question. Which is right way to initialize array? So out of these 4 options, option A is correct way of initializing an array. Okay. Next, question number 12. Which of the following is used during memory deallocation in C? So 4 options for this question. A remove P, B delete P, C free P, D terminate P. So we are using free function in order to deallocate memory during runtime. So option C is correct answer for this question. Next, question number 13. Calloc returns a storage that is initialized to option A 0, option B null, option C nothing, option D 1. Usually the calloc function returns a storage, a block of memory which is initialized to 0 value address. So option A is correct for this question. Question number 14. What is the return value of putchar function? Option A, the character return. Option B, end of file if an error occurs. Option C, nothing. Option D, both end of file if an error occurs and character return. Okay, option D is correct answer. Both end of file if an error occurs and character return. Next, 15th question. In command line arguments, argument count, argue C should be option A non-negative, option B non-positive, option C non-zero, option D both B and C. So argument count refers to the first parameter that we use to store the number of command line arguments. It is important to note that the value of argument count should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, hence option A is correct answer, non-negative. Next, question number 16. A preprocessor command. Option A need not start on a new line. Option B need not start on the first column. Option C hash has the first character. Option D comes before the first executable statement. Okay. So option C hash as the first character. Usually preprocessor command begins with this symbol. In every program we use hash include preprocessor command, so that will begin with the hash symbol. So option C is correct answer for this question. Yes, next question. Question number 17. std out, stdin and stderr are option A file pointer, option B file descriptor, option C streams, option D structure. So answer is not printed here. So correct answer for this question is streams. They will define streams. Okay, all these 3 define streams. Okay. Next, question number 18. What is the output if code is void main int a is initialized to 0 for a smaller than 5 colon a plus plus printf hello? So 4 options for this question. Option A, compile time error. Option B, hello printed 5 times. Option C, no printing. Option D, varies. Now A, variable A is initialized to 0. Okay, in past statement now, first part is missing, means A is 0, that is initialization part is taken here. Then loop condition A less than 5, updation A plus plus. Okay, so according to this, this printf function belongs to for loop, and this loop repeats 5 times, hence the word hello will be printed 5 times. So option B is right answer to this question. Next, question number 19. Which of the following is a logical AND operator? So 4 options are given, and we know the symbol AND symbol written 2 times is logical AND operator in C language. So option D is correct choice for this question. Next, question number 20. What will be the output of the following code? Now we have used both preprocessor commands, hash include and hash define. Hash include is used to include header file, hash define used to define a macro. Okay, now in this program variable I is initialized to 5, and that I is considered as an argument to this macro square, and I plus I is taken here as an argument to this macro. So 5 plus 5, 10 is the actual argument to this macro. It is replaced by an expression x into x. So I value is 10 now, I plus I 10, so 10 is going to replace x, so x into x, 10 into 10, 100 is the answer for this or output of this program execution. So option A is correct answer for this question. Next, question number 21. Which data structure is used for implementing postfix evaluation? As we know in the explanation of stack is the postfix evaluating data structure. So the right answer for this question is stack, option B. Next, question number 22. The type of expression in which operator succeeds its operands is option A, infix expression, option B, prefix expression, option C, postfix expression, option D, none of these. Okay, so if operator succeeds an operand, that is postfix notation, so it will be postfix expression. So option C is correct answer to this question. Next, question number 23. Non-primitive data structures are those which define set of option A, stack elements, option B, vectors, option C, derived elements, option D, non-derived elements. Array or structure is an example for derived data type. Derived data type means derived elements. Okay, so array and structures are non-primitive data structures, so they are related to derived elements. So option C is correct answer to this question. Next, question number 24. Process of inserting an element in stack is called push operation. So various options for this question: create, push, evaluation, and pop. So option B is correct answer for this question. Empty stack condition is called underflow. Suppose stack contains no elements. If you are trying to full an element, that time stack will be underflowing. So this condition is called as underflow condition. So right answer to this question is underflow, option A. Question number 26. In the linked representation of the stack, dash dash behaves as the top pointer variable of stack. Option A, stop pointer, option B, begin pointer, option C, start pointer, option D, avail pointer. So correct answer to this question, linked representation of stack, is start pointer. Next, question number 27. New nodes are added to the dash dash of the queue. So in queue now, elements can be removed from the front side, whereas new elements or new nodes can be added from the back side. So option B is correct answer to this question. Back. Question number 28. The operation of processing each element in the list is known as option A sorting, option B merging, option C inserting, option D traversal. Traversal option is correct answer to this question because it refers to the process of visiting each node in a tree data structure exactly once. Next question number 29. Each node in a singly linked list has two feeds. So data feed and link feed. That's why these two feeds are present in every node. So each node in singly linked list has two feeds only. So option A is correct answer to this question. Next last question. Question number 30. The data structure which permits traversing in both directions is. So singly linked list allows traversing in one direction. Doubly linked list allows traversing in both direction. Q root circular list, these are not related to this operation. So option B is right answer to this question. Doubly linked list. Okay, with this let us end today's session. In next session I'll consider DCET 2019 question paper for same two subjects, programming with C language and data structures using C language. Thank you very much.